I really want to talk about self-compassion, compassion, kindness, and how important that is. They say on average, 70% of people are kinder to others than they are themselves. And we talk often about how we love ourselves is how we teach others to love us. Well, how compassionate we are with ourselves allows people to be compassionate with us, allows us to be compassionate with others. People that are compassionate with themselves are 80% more caring in relationships, because if you're not giving it to yourself, how can you give that to someone else? So it's really important, beloveds, to be really compassionate with yourself, right? And I'm not talking about victim, like, why is this happening? Because that isn't healthy. But healthy compassion is good for us mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. We have higher immune systems when we are compassionate with ourselves. I just feel that this piece is really, really important in life, but especially when you're doing this work and with so much going on in the world right now. I mean, there's just a lot going on, beloveds. And so when things feel hard, we want to acknowledge that to ourselves. We don't want to go into, oh, why me? Why is this happening to me? It's actually like, it's that surrender, isn't it? And it's that acceptance of, this is really hard right now. This is really hard right now. Just put your hand on your heart. This is really hard right now. And it's like acknowledging, if you're having a really hard time and somebody says, oh, that sounds really hard. Like, just right away, you feel heard, you feel seen. But why wouldn't we do that for ourselves? Why wouldn't we do that for ourselves? So I'm just going to invite you all to take a moment now and just close your eyes, or, if it feels better to have them open. And I invite you just to think of something right now, maybe not the hardest thing in your life, but just something that's challenging right now, something that's challenged you, and whatever comes to your mind is absolutely perfect. And I want for you to put your hands on your heart as a point of nourishment for yourself. And just feel the warmth of your heart. And just acknowledge, this is really hard right now. And just allow yourself to breathe and just let go that bit more. Take another inhale. And exhale. This is really hard right now. I'm coping really well. How about even just acknowledging, I'm coping really well. I'm coping really well. Just acknowledge yourself for that. Just acknowledge yourself. I'm coping really well. I'm doing the best I can. I'm doing a really good job on the circumstances right now. I'm doing a really, really good job. Just holding yourself, beloved, holding yourself as you would a friend, somebody who's come to you with something that's really hard in their lives. Or I wonder, could you just hold your own hand? If something comes up, you hear something, you're just having a hard time. Can you just hold your own hand and be like, it's okay, I got you. And when we acknowledge how we're feeling, we acknowledge our circumstances, it allows us to process and move through things. It's when we are resisting, right? It just keeps persisting and it builds up, right? It's when we're pushing it down, we're trying to numb it, instead of just being like, this is really hard. This is really hard. Just holding yourself. So whether you wake up in the middle of the night, and if you might go, oh, here I am awake again, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. Instead, just holding your own hand, just saying, it's okay, I love you. It's okay, I love you. And just being really kind to yourself, put your hands somewhere that feels good. Take a breath. It's okay. And then just hold yourself, be with yourself at 2:00 in the morning, 4:00 in the morning. Whatever your challenges that you're experiencing right now, it's really learning to be there for ourselves, showing up fully for ourselves. And then we can allow others, and we don't have to be searching for something outside of ourselves if we're already that for ourselves, that wholeness. So just holding your own hand. And sometimes it's too hard to say, I love you, or you're doing a great job. Just even, I'm coping really well right now. I'm coping really well right now. And just holding yourself for as long as you need to. Just feeling your own tenderness, your own compassion, your own love. And it's easy to do this when things are flowing in our lives, to, self-esteem, to feel good. But it's actually, and the thing about self-esteem is it's very important. A lot of people's self-esteem is based on how they look physically, how successfully they're doing, how much money, how well their relationships are going. But the beauty with self-compassion is that it's something that we have with us all the time, no matter what is going on in our lives. Whereas self-compassion is something that's with us all the time, whether things are flowing or not flowing, whether what we perceive as failures or successes. Compassion is with us all the time. I can get us through the hard times, but just, and it's, with children or animals, and how empathic they are, how empathic we are. But if we notice that they're, getting stressed out, or think just all we've got to do is breathe and just, you're doing really well right now. And then as you have your hands on your heart, if you can know that warmth that you feel in your heart, everything you need is in there right now. Everything. Nothing outside of you. Not emotional eating, not binge watching, alcohol, shopping, whatever you do to numb, whatever that is, those feelings are still there after that practice. And usually a lot of the time, after a lot of them, we don't feel good after doing them. Whereas compassion is really a beautiful form of self-love, self-soothing, which builds inner resilience and inner sovereignty. So again, just closing your eyes with your hands on your heart. And even if you don't have a moment for that, if you're out somewhere, you just want to hold your own hand. You just want to hold your own hand. And you're doing okay. And just know that all of that love and compassion is inside of you. And of course, beloved, that you're never alone. You always have your guides, your allies, and your beautiful angels. So, beloveds, this is an invitation to just be really loving and compassionate and kind as you would with a friend that came and said they're having a hard time, with your child, with a pet. In compassion, if we're watching a movie and how we feel for somebody who's having a hard time, it'd be like, bring that all into yourself and just allow everything to soften. And that beloved is sovereignty. And that is healing, beloved. And that is creating new, beautiful patterns inside of you, and not shoving and forcing and resisting. Instead, just, you're doing really well. You're coping really well. I love you. I love you. I love you.